You are listening to Kickspot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Kickspot, Part 3 edition of, I don't even know what we're going to call this. We're going to call this...
Life of a Clipper fan.
The best team in LA?
Nah, Life of a Clipper fan.
Well,
we're not talking about the Lakers. We're
Best joke in LA?
so that's...
We're talking about the Clippers.
we can put that in small fine print.
Yeah.
But as you can see, Henry has left us again. So after Part 1 and Part 2, he's obviously been crying. So he's outside because his team has lost.
No, he's on a business call.
Right. Business call is what we talk about. But, you know, Migs, how do you feel? How do you really feel about being a Clippers fan? Be completely honest.
I will say I'm proud to be a Clipper fan just because of like what I think we've accomplished, especially in the last, I would say, since the year 2003.
What exactly is that, sir?
You know, I just think that we have progressed, you know, in that short amount of span, you know.
I think you have a really different
Western
definition of proud.
Conference
So, anywho,
finals.
shut your ass up. However, you know, to be, you have to go through, like the shit, like the trolling and shit like that, and you really got to go through, you know, dumbass Franco here.
You do it to yourselves.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so everybody on the team was talking championship.
Bro.
Everybody.
Hell yeah.
So what have you accomplished? Tell me that.
All I'm saying is there's the first 50 years of the Clippers like run. Now we got the new 50 years. All right? This next 50 years going to be different.
It's the same years.
No, it's going to be different. I'm telling you right now. But to answer Jinu's original question, how do I really feel becoming a Clipper
Yes,
fan?
please answer that.
Yeah, like real talk. Like I'm proud to be a Clipper fan. You know, it definitely is hurtful. Like it hurts a lot, especially when fucking 2-3-1 series leads are blown by the same coach.
Yeah.
You know, but again, there's things that I'm very, very hopeful for. And that's the thing. It's like you're always just hopeful for something. So it's painful to go through until you get over the hump. And for us Clipper fans, we're just finally waiting to get over the hump. We felt like it was going to be this year, right? But unfortunately, it's not. We have another year to look forward to next year. We're going to keep rooting for the squad, right? But at the same time, it is devastating, my brothers. Devastating to go through the shitty days, just like what happened on Tuesday on the Game 7, and literally the game hasn't even been ended yet. And the group chat on Instagram and on the text
It's going to keep coming.
was already going off on my phone,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not a pretty sight, but if you're really a fan of a team, you got to stick by that team, bro.
Well, it's very interesting because in Part 1, when I asked the question, how did you become a Clippers fan? All I got was that for Henry, it was my brother brought me up as a Clippers fan.
Yep.
For you, it was I switched teams like maybe 3 times.
Yeah, but I've stuck with the Clippers since
And
2000.
in the text message, it looked like there was some type of subliminal message in there, and we could probably talk about that a little bit later. But we do have proof. We have proof
What are you talking about?
that there is a logo of some sort that was brought out, which kind of got me a little bit confused.
It's getting hot in here.
I just don't know why you would continue to be a Clippers fan.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
What have they done for you?
I mean, you see like the potential. You know what I mean?
And what potential, bro? In Chicago, before the Cubs won in 2016, I've been a Cubs fan since I came to this country in '98. Before they won, it was always wait till next year. Wait till next year.
Yeah, right.
Wait till what? At least the Cubs won one in 1908. The Clippers haven't done anything.
Yo,
anything.
real talk though. I just want to first, give a quick shout out to Queer Ralph. Queer Ralph, shout out to you. You were actually the main inspiration on why we did this episode. So he made this great point to me when I was like talking to him. My Queer Ralph was like, "Yo, Migs, like, it seems like you're in a toxic relationship, bruh. Like, you know, like those memes.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's you know, like that relationship where, like, you know, like they're bad for you.
Oh, yeah.
But you just keep coming back to them. Like, you're in that relationship, bruh. I was like, God damn, like, yeah, you're right, dude. Like, it's painful, and you're just waiting for them to change, and like, you'll never change. It's
not gonna happen.
You know, like,
I mean, they did change. They brought an all-star. I mean, they brought an
You know?
MVP.
but like they would do
They
like
brought
the
Kawhi.
minimum. They do the minimum for you to stay, but it's so toxic that like the big part is never gonna change.
No, but bringing Kawhi is not a minimum.
No, I know that, fam. I'm just saying it just feels like a toxic relationship. That's what it feels like. You know those toxic memes about, like, you know, Future being like this misogynistic like dude
Yeah.
that's teaching all these dudes how to be like the toxic dude.
Kings.
Like the kings, you know, like they belong to the streets type of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the relationship I feel like, dude. Being a Clipper fan,
They're
bro.
chewing you up and spitting you out every
Yeah.
season.
Like, and I'm
Keep
the
watching.
chick. And I'm the chick, you know, and the Clippers is fucking Future, you know?
And in a toxic relationship, it gets so far and you end up leaving. So when is that gonna happen? When do you draw the line?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm picking a second team, bro.
Oh,
Is that an announcement?
hit us.
I'm picking a second team, bro.
Is that an announcement?
I'm still a Clipper fan. I'm still a Clipper fan. I'm just adding a team.
For everybody at home, we got the Heat right behind us, and this guy's
yeah.
been taking peeks at the game.
Serious 2-0, baby.
And he's already saying he's already got his eye on a team on a replacement,
It's not a replacement, dog.
on a backup.
It sounds like a replacement.
No,
sounds
it's
like
not.
a replacement.
It's not a replacement. It's not a replacement.
It sounds like a replacement.
It's just when I get hurt, I go to the Heat.
So that was the actual logo that was displayed on our group chat
Yep.
here.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Why did you bring that up?
I think they're built to win it all.
You know, as I'm editing this, there's gonna be like little comments about I'm gonna switch teams.
Yeah.
From Migs.
Yeah.
No,
Screenshot it and put it
Yeah.
up.
no,
Screenshot. You got to do it. Nah, you said it. Own it.
no. I'm saying, like, I just think, like, I'm rooting for Miami. I think they're.
You're rooting for them, or are you switching teams?
I'm not
Because-
switching teams.
Okay, it's totally going on. Because in the group chat, it does say I'm switching teams.
Hey, when you're mad in a toxic relationship, you say shit that you sometimes you don't mean, okay? Like, that's a relationship. All right, when you get mad, you sometimes say shit that you don't mean because at that time, you're just so heated and you're so passionate about leaving that person that sometimes you don't really mean it, okay?
You think you're like you finally have the courage to do it, but then you don't end up doing it.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm a simp, bro.
So if the Heat win the championship,
I'm going to the parade. Of course, see?
course you are.
Good.
Yeah.
We're all going to Miami.
Of course. South
they
Beach.
should make a meme for you.
yeah.
The Clippers jersey of Homer and then the Heat jersey.
Tyler Hero.
I'm buying a Tyler Hero jersey.
Yeah.
League fits. Yo, first of all, he's like first league fit, fit on, Tyler Hero. So shout out to the kid, best shooter in the game right now, next to Klay Thompson.
So when the Clippers lost, Franco, how did you react?
Oh, man, I
how
was
did
so
you
happy.
feel?
I was driving with my girlfriend, and so she
Your
was-
girlfriend text messaged me also.
Yeah, well, my girl's clowning him. Shout out to Shaza, baby girl, I love you. So she's holding up the phone for me. We're watching. I'm driving, and I just see this lead, and I see the Clippers can't get over the hump, in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, I was clapping in the car, mind you. I'm driving,
see the
and I'm
DMs.
celebrating like the Lakers won a championship. That's how passionate and heated I was.
Oh, I mean, I could see all the messages, and I messaged Migs, and I was like, "Hey, is Franco drunk?" That's the
I
first
wasn't
thing I
even
said.
drunk, bro. I was just. I
He's
was
like, "No, that's just how he is."
pure joy because let me get into this now. Going back to Doc Rivers, his biggest accomplishment as a Clippers coach is covering up the Lakers banner. If I'm the Clippers coach, I don't cover up the banner. I use that as motivation. Look at what they have. We
Yeah.
play in their building. That's our building, number one. We play in their building. And you're going to cover up our banners with a face of JJ Redick
That's right.
and Austin Rivers?
Oh,
Come
that's
on.
what you're referencing?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know.
Yeah. So every time the Clippers
So
home game,
what was up there before?
the Lakers banners. And
Okay.
every time it's a Clippers home game, they cover up the banners with these pictures. Because the Clippers can't even put
Anything.
a Western Conference Finals on there.
Oh, so they have JJ Redick.
So they had they used to. Now JJ's gone. DeAndre. So number one, that's what pisses me off. The lack of respect. Who the hell do you think you are? Doc Rivers. Glenn. Cool story, Glenn. Who the hell do you think you are? Shouts out Draymond. Number two. You do this to yourselves. You do this to yourselves. This was a year of karma. Trez last year, I gained respect for Trez with the whole Luka thing this year. It takes a man to do that, but last year he was talking shit to the Lakers fans. This year talking shit to the Lakers fans. Pat Beverly talking about, oh, we got the next 5 years. It's year one. You don't have this year, so you got the next 4 years. Back that up, right? So that just made me so happy, just seeing this dude fail. Number one, go back to Europe, bro. Go play in Europe. You're not NBA material.
First team, baby.
Oh, come on, dude.
All
You're not
defense.
NBA.
Second
of what?
team, actually, this year,
Of
second
what?
team.
Jamal chewed him up and spit him out. Okay. And you know, like I said earlier in the podcast, there's this thing about the Clippers, like they were cute up into a certain period when David Stern fucked up the trade for us, rescinded the trade. And, you know, I'm never going to forget Dan Gilbert. The small market teams are getting screwed over. Fuck you, dude. Shut the fuck up. And,
You got LeBron, Dan Gilbert.
well, no, that was when LeBron was in Miami.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
And then, oh, yeah, they rescind the trade. And then somehow Chris Paul still ends up in LA, but with the Clippers. And so that pissed me off.
Yeah.
That pissed me off completely. That was more of like a hammer in the coffin.
You guys get pissed off for every player that doesn't come to your squad that you guys want.
That's fine. Dude, it's LA. You're supposed to want to be here.
Exactly.
You're supposed to want to be here. Okay? It's LA. Now, I understand situations like the Knicks, you wouldn't want to go there because it's a shit show, but LA, you're going to want to come to LA. You're going to want to come to the Lakers, not a franchise that's been an embarrassment like the Clippers. Okay?
Not an embarrassment, bro.
And last but not least, it's just, I'm going back to Doc Rivers. The clown, he's had the talent that he's had, not just Chris Paul, DeAndre, JJ Redick, Jamal Crawford, Lou Will, all the guys on the team now.
Griffin.
Darren Collison, right? He played.
Yeah,
for him?
bro.
All this talent. Think about the talent that this dude has had, and he's only had one championship.
Bruh, circumstances play a part. Like, look at the West during those times.
I'm not crying about the Lakers losing the 08 finals. We got our asses kicked.
You know what I mean?
But the dude couldn't replicate it. He had KG. He had T-Mac in his prime, bro. And this dude only has one championship to show for it. And now he's like, oh, yeah, I'll take the blame. But, oh, by the way, we weren't together that long. You had a full year.
Yeah.
Free agency was July of last year. You had a full year. Mm-hmm. So, and you had the pandemic in the way. I totally understand that.
I thought you were talking about Paul George.
No. Yeah, pandemic P. You had the pandemic in the P. Another clown. Pandemic in the way. And if anything, it brings an opportunity to have more cohesion because you have a second training camp. Okay? And Paul George, oh, we weren't competing for a championship this year, guys. What the fuck are you talking about?
I was gonna bring that up. I didn't watch the post.
The post
You know what he was
I didn't watch it at all.
saying-
But I saw like maybe 2 hours later, it was all over about Paul George making an excuse,
Huh?
and I was like,
What are you talking about?
That's not leadership right there.
No, which we know
And,
he's
and,
not a
and,
leader.
and
That
same
was-
thing.
that was happening.
I heard that Dog was also making excuses.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stop making excuses. Own up to it. You got beat. You didn't make adjustments. And
Exactly. I said that in the first part.
no, and kudos to you. How is it you as a fan has more insight and sees it different than a freaking player who's playing the game? Paul George, the first series. I'm not James Harden. You're still a 25-point a game shooter.
yeah.
And scorer. What are you talking about? You're not James Harden. Nobody's asking you to be James Harden. They're asking you to do your job, what you were brought here to do, bro. So karma, well deserved, and dare I say this, because next year if they run it back, it's going to be tough, but they'll never win a championship.
Wow, you heard it here. Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter because he's gonna be a Heat fan next year.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Next
matter.
year it'll be
It's
about
my
the Heat.
second team.
It's not,
This dude's got two teams.
They're gonna have Heat And
This
Lakers on
dude-
this side.
This dude got 2 teams. I'm okay to have 2 teams. He's got 2 teams. You got 2 teams.
I don't have 2 teams.
Actually, you
team's
don't have
gone.
a team.
My
His
team's
team
gone.
doesn't exist.
My team's gone, so my second option is Lakers.
Should have been a St. Louis Cardinals fan.
So, rant over. The only reason why Kawhi doesn't get any heat from me is he never has shown that leader, but on the court, he lets his game do the
Yeah,
talking.
he does, yeah.
And he works his ass off.
100%. No, it's again, it really is tough, and that's to bring back to your original question on this part, right? Like, how does it really feel? It's tough. It really is. Like it's like growing pains every single year, and it's like sometimes it's not even growing pains; it's just pains. You know, like because you have to deal with the backlash, you have to deal with the trolling, you have to deal with just the unfortunate circumstances that they go through, and then you look back at the history and it's like you guys like will never get over the hump. And like us Clipper fans, like we just want to see them get over the hump because like what Franco was saying, the talent pool in the past 10 years, 15 years has been there. And for Doc to just show 0 Western Conference Finals appearances and just, you know, Paul George coming and Kawhi coming in is probably his biggest accomplishment, you know.
No, I told you what his biggest accomplishment was. Covering up the banners. That's his biggest
Yeah,
accomplishment.
whatever, dude. Like, and
We did it.
roll it. And I feel like
JJ.
he definitely could have, I feel like, done a better job keeping that original Chris Paul team, and you know they made that whole getting DeAndre back, you know,
Oh my god.
like debacle,
Oh
like
my god.
you know, like,
Forgot about that.
but the thing is, it's like you felt like they were so close, right? Like you felt that team
It was there.
it was there.
It just needed that push.
Exactly. Like, dude, we were there. Like, we were there. And then you get this team that you have the talent, right? And you have the squad, but your cohesion is not there. That's the difference between this team and the teams in the past. And it's like, when are we going to get it together? Like, when are we going to put the pieces together? Because if you put those 2 pieces together, that's the fucking perfect team, bro. You know? But I guess there's one common denominator and all that. It's Doc Rivers.
Right.
So,
It's funny. I chuckled when he was saying that because he was getting so passionate. It's like, we were there. And for some reason, I feel like next year I'm going to have deja vu. It's going to be the same. We were there.
Yeah, 'cause how many times has it happened? And let me just tell you, the Clippers have done.
it's painful, bro.
It's been a comedy of errors throughout the last few years of shooting themselves in the foot. There's always been off-court stuff, whether it's Chris and Blake not getting along, Blake punching Matthias Testi, the equipment manager in Toronto, because they got in like a fake fight or whatever, and he actually punches him, breaks his hand. I think that was one of the best seasons that they had.
Yeah, man.
And that ruined the whole. You know, did he play in the playoffs? I don't remember.
Yeah, he did.
He did, but he wasn't 100%. You know, one of my first playoff games, this dude took me to Clippers Jazz, and Joe Johnson hits a game winner that kind of rattles around.
Oh, my God. Bro.
And I'm walking out of there with a Steph jersey, and nobody had said anything throughout. One dude tried to fight me, but I'm walking out of Staples Center with a
so
Steph
mad,
jersey,
bro.
and it was hilarious, you know, because it was like, wow, one real Clip, except for this guy, one real Clippers fan out here that really feels passionate enough to fight me, you know, because he's getting trolled. You know, so many things throughout the years. I went to a Clippers game where I sat courtside when Blake's first season. Ryan Gomes, you remember him?
Of course, dude.
Ryan Gomes tries to dunk a la Blake, misses, and I yell out, "You're not Blake!" And from behind I hear, "Yo, dude, that's my brother." And I was like, "That's cool. That's your brother. Like, you're gonna get mad? I'm not lying. Like, you know." So getting like, you know, it's just kind of cute, but at the same time, it's just like it's sad. It must be sad because I got 16 reasons to be happy, 5 that I've seen in my lifetime. You know, I can't imagine what you feel like.
I told you I feel like it sucks, dude. You know, but again, like it's, you know, if you're a true sport. I mean, I'm a true sports fanatic and true basketball fan, right? And you know, sometimes it's like, you know, being rooting for a team like this, like, it's fun, you know, because you could see the talent and watching them. I mean, it's like highlight reel all day. But as far as longevity and as far as like what have you done for the city and what have you done for me as a fan, dude, it's tough when like they haven't really done much, you know. And we felt like this year was the year. You know, we built everything for this year. We load managed for this year, right?
Yeah.
And we made, you know, mid-season acquisitions for this year to get tougher to prepare, but you have to show up. That's you know, the difference is sometimes like when the stage gets bigger, you know, it sucks that your team doesn't show up and every other team shows up. Again, like, and also credit to the Nuggets, man. That's tough. 2-3-1 deficits, you know, against the Jazz and us, and pulling through like that. Like, you want that team, right? Like, you want to be part of that,
Right.
you know, and like
Never give up.
and never give up. Like, and sometimes I feel like that, like I'll never give up, you know, but because I want to see that happen, because I'm gonna be elated, right? Like, I'm gonna be super elated, like that first championship that we get, like it's gonna be like, fuck you guys, you know, like we got one,
Bro,
you know
that
what
won't even come, even if you cryogenically freeze your head, that won't ever come, bro.
It's gonna come, bro.
So the Clippers get a new stadium where they're going to remodel the Forum. Is that what's going on?
Is it the Forum, or they bought the Forum, but they're also building a new one, right? Yeah, new one in
it's like-
2024.
Yeah,
Okay.
new one, yeah.
Yeah.
Inglewood.
So they're going to build that right next to the NFL stadium,
SoFi.
the Rams.
Right, SoFi. Yeah.
SoFi. Okay. And
City Fire, bro.
so if let's say that next year all the players stayed,
Okay.
what do the Clippers have to do in order for them to actually have a chance?
Need a playmaker.
I think perfect. Yeah, we need a point guard, like a
Legitimate.
a legitimate one.
Get Pat Beverly out.
We don't have one. We have the shooters. We already have the shooters. We just don't have that point guard. Reggie Jackson coming off the bench is not that point guard. I feel like he should have just started as opposed to Pat Bev. I'm not the coach. I'm just a fan, right? But you know, as a fan, I really want to see them pick up a point. There's talks about, like, rumors about getting Joel Embiid. Like, I don't know if that's
Why?
gonna help.
No.
You don't need a big guy?
No.
The thing is, he's a skilled big guy, right? And you know, we didn't have the bigs to go up against the length of Denver, which gave
Yeah.
us a problem. It really did give us a problem. But I don't think that's the solution. You're right. Like, I don't think that's the solution. I think we need a point guard. I feel like it's deja vu from the years where we didn't have a three, where we were relying on Matt Barnes and Wesley Johnson, and you know, they had to guard guys like KD, you know, and like super LeBron James, like longer, taller guys that play a three, but they're fucking 7-footers,
Yeah.
you know.
Would you take Westbrook?
No, hell no.
No, because
No.
it's too much personality.
No, it's, that's the wrong kind of guy.
Yeah,
to name.
so to me, it's point guard and cohesion.
Drew.
You know,
You need a Drew.
I need a Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
I need a Drew Holiday.
Drew
I
Holiday.
need a Malcolm Brogdon.
Yep.
I need
Oh.
something like that. You know,
Yeah.
like a real true point guard. But
And get Pat Beverly out of town, man. That guy rubs everyone the wrong way. So the Clippers have a bullseye on their back because of that. And that's part of the reason why there's so much hate towards the Clippers these days. Is this dude who's never done anything in the league, defensive player of the year. I think Westbrook, as much as I don't like him, he's right. This dude doesn't do much as defense. He'll body people up, but he gets away with a lot of fouls. And in the playoffs, he averaged more fouls than points. So, you know, to me, you need a point guard who runs the game. Because if you bring in Pat Beverly, you're playing with a playmaker, at something you have to switch him off. So you're sacrificing something. You can't afford to do that now, especially in this league where a game can change like that. So
If for some odd reason you still had CP3 with the team now, you think you would do well?
hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude. Like that'd have
Because
been
when
the
I see
solution.
leadership, I see somebody like that too.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like, we brought it up earlier. We talk about leadership on everything, and you just don't see it on the court. You see it on the coaching. I feel like they have a really good coaching staff. They're gonna lose one because one of them's gonna be a head coach next season.
Yeah.
But Doc, I feel like Doc is good enough to to coach them. It's just that he doesn't.
I don't know about that.
What I'm saying is, I don't think he has someone that is relaying that same message on the court. He had, dude.
But isn't that your job?
But I'm saying the
As a
luxury of having a CP3, right? Like that leader, the LeBron James, for crying out loud. Like, let's use that as a fucking example, right? Frank Vogel can just lay back and tell Bron the plays, and LeBron will not only run the plays, he'll run the entire game from the minute he steps onto the court.
You got an on-court leader.
Dude, you have an on-court coach.
But you're also getting a guy like LeBron involved in a lot of different things, and that's something that I think the Clippers can take note of.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Kawhi was
Kawhi-
consulted. Hey, what do you want to come here? He kind of handpicked. He said,
Paul George.
leave this court. We need these players. And he kind of handpicked Paul George. You know, it just backfired. So it's different what Kawhi brings versus LeBron's walks into a room and he commands everyone's respect.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
I mean that's a little bit different too, because I think he was treated like that from some of the other teams in the past. Kawhi
Yes.
really wasn't treated like that fully. I mean, he was with the Raptors just one year,
1 year.
right? So I mean, he's switching around, but I think if
That's not really his personality either.
it might not. I mean, like it really depends on coaching, right? If the coach was a really good coach and that could expose that and do that, then I would say that, you know, Kawhi would be a little bit different. If he had a little bit of longevity within the right coaching staff from a different team, I think you could have seen a little bit more of that. But just to switch from 1 year to another year, he didn't have like that type of track record, and I think that's why we think like that. We just never know. I mean, let's say he's with the Clippers for a while and then they start doing that, maybe we might think a little bit different. But
Yeah, man. I mean, but other than that, like, it's tough, bro. It's tough.
yeah. So all in all, Clippers, the future with you is that you're gonna switch over to the Heat.
No,
I think
I'm
that's
not.
what we got. So we're gonna special announcement, Kickspotters. Migs has switched teams.
Jersey ceremony.
He's not a Clippers fan. He is now a Heat fan.
That's not true.
He loves Pat Riley. That's his
I
favorite.
do, but
GM.
it's not true.
So next year, I wonder what this conversation is going to be like. You might see him wearing a Heat jersey. The hats up here might change a little bit. Just one side on that side might change. But very interesting, topics. Great, great questions. Great banter. I loved it. I loved making him a little uncomfortable.
I wasn't uncomfortable.
and
I was
it-
honest.
He was just sad.
He was very sad. He's very
I'm sad.
sad. And obviously we know that Henry still isn't back, so he's still out there crying
up, dude.
about the Clippers' loss, and he's still going to be crying till next
Crying in the
year.
backyard.
That's a long meeting, bro. Like,
Couldn't handle
where he at?
A long meeting with Doc Rivers right now. All right, guys. Thank you for listening, Kickspotters. And next
Thank you.
time, we'll be back.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for listening to Kickspot.